Hello everyone, welcome back to Football Manager 2017 with Newcastle United, and we're getting to the very exciting end of the season. The Champions League is back up and running. We're taking on Bayern Munich in the first knockout round. Now that's going to be a very big challenge, especially with the away match first up. Bayern aren't the force that they used to be, but they're still a very strong team. We need to be at the top of the game, top of our game to win this match. Now, in terms of the schedule, recently we've been on an absolutely incredible run of form. It's been so long since we lost a game. We had a few bad games towards the start of the season, but we've only lost one league game all year. And today we're taking on mainly the cup competitions, Bayern home and away, Watford away in the FA Cup, and then Everton, West Ham and Bournemouth in the league. So it's quite a bumper episode really, especially with our former and current bogey team in Bournemouth and West Ham on the agenda. Now, just quickly address, a lot of you have been asking in the comments, who am I going to be taking on next, because this is our final season at the club. I have decided it's going to be a European team. I'm going to try and take on one of the faded giants of European football and see if I can build them back up. Some of the suggestions out there are the likes of Ajax, one of the Milan teams. I'd probably prefer Inter Milan. Or Valencia definitely appeals to me. I'd love to do what Rafa did at Valencia and win the league with them, and maybe some European competitions as well. So maybe in the comments you can pick out which European giant you would like me to take over and manage and try to rebuild, as we've done with Newcastle. I will try to make this save available through the Steam Workshop as well. So if you do want to pick up this save where I leave off, you're more than welcome to do that. But we need to focus on winning the Champions League first. It's still our completed goal. And the team today is a pretty strong one. Simonsen is not fit enough to play, so he's going to be on the bench, but he'll be an impact sub if we need him. So Breen and Sobral will lead the line with Imperiale. Yates, Lloyd, Kovacic and Cook across the middle. Lucas, Bob, Mamana and Augusto across the back four. It's pretty much our strongest 11 without Simonsen up top. Sobral sends it over to Yates Lloyd. We have been in charge in these opening 20 minutes. We need to make the most of it with Augusto on the right flank. Puts it across. Ball cleared away. Ikone can bring it forward for Bayern Munich. Need to be careful on the counter. Ikone still going with the ball. He was well out of position by the time he finally offloaded it, but Lescano's been played in. He turns our defence inside out. Bob goes in with a tackle. I thought that was a fair tackle and then he got the ball. But apparently he's been dismissed for a two-footed tackle. What on earth has Bob done there? I thought that was a fair tackle, but instead we're going to have to sacrifice Imperiale, bring on Albini, and hopefully not get demolished in this leg. Felipe Anderson's taken the close-range free kick and it's deflected into the net. He may as well have let the goal go in, Bob. At least then we'd have 11 men. Lescano cutting inside from the right. He looks such a good player. Bosman finds Ikone and that's 2-0. And despite us dominating the statistics, we're 2-0 down and a man down. Bayern's corner, Felipe Anderson puts in, and Vaz at the near post is putting this competition out of sight for us. We're 3-0 down with half hour still to play. Ikone loses the ball to Lucas, but Vaz has got onto it. He's got 4-5 in the middle. Felipe Anderson's one of them, and it's 4-0. Felipe Anderson's free kick. Plays it short to Ikone. Augusto wins the ball. We could really do with an away goal. Augusto does get to the ball again and then loses it, and Vaz is in behind, and instead of an away goal we're 5-0 down. Breen through to Yates Lloyd in the last minute. Yates Lloyd has scored, and he has, with that goal, given us every chance of actually going through. If we can win 4-0 at 5-0, I just thought it was completely over. Bayern would only need one away goal to leave us needing 7 goals. Instead, with that goal, a 4-0 win will take us through. It's still not good news. That's going to be an incredibly difficult result. Bob has really thrown us under the bus with that two-footed tackle. And our hopes of winning the only competition that we really care about now has completely gone out of the window. Well, after that game against Bayern Munich, the FA Cup takes on an even bigger importance in our season. And away against Watford, we should be making it into the FA Cup quarter-finals. We have had to rotate the squad a bit, but the good news is that Simonsen is back up top. with Sobral alongside him. Imperiale is available to play after being subbed early on in that game against Bayern Munich. Yates-Lloyd, Cook and Melagoni are in the middle, with Linor coming in at left back, Bob in the middle, Mamana next to him, and Augusto out on the right. And I'm hoping Bob doesn't get a two-footed tackle in there in this game. Cook plays the ball over the top. Sobral can't win the header. Riccardi back to Flanagan. Son has been played in down the left wing. Beats the defender, puts the cross in, and Paulo Roberto is having the worst stretch of games. It's actually no goal from Cook, but I don't think Roberto helped that situation. We've got a real problem on our hands. Redmond beats the defender far too easily, still going down the right flank, sends the cross in, Tuma's there and he's found the bottom corner, and Watford are 2-0 up despite only having one actual shot on goal in the entire game. Redmond loses the ball to Linor, but Watford get it back again with Tete. He finds Redmond, ball put across, and Tuma makes it 3-0. I honestly do not know what is going on. We've had 17 efforts, 7 on target, and we're 3-0 down. Yates-Lloyd over to Sobral. Can we finally get a decent attack off? Melagoni's played in and he has found the top corner there. An excellent finish from Filippo Melagoni. But we need 2 more goals in 20 minutes. That was an absolute horror show. I do not know what on earth has happened in that game. We had 22 efforts, 9 on target, to their 4 efforts, 3 on target. They only had 41% possession. And we've been beaten 3-1. I think that we're going to have to chalk that down to just one of those games, because you explain that. Manchester City fortunately didn't win. That's one good thing. But it was the FA Cup, wasn't it? I completely forgot it was the FA Cup, which we're now out of. And it looks like we could have gone out the Champions League and the FA Cup in a space of about 3 days. I honestly don't know what happened in that game. I am completely blown away by what has happened so far in this episode, and I'm terrified about what's going to happen in the last 4 games as well, because we only have that 6-point lead at the top of the table, and that could quickly disappear with 11 still to play. Well, if ever we needed to win a Premier League game this season, it is today. We're away against Everton, and after losing in the Champions League and FA Cup, we need to protect our unbeaten league run. Now, in order to do that, I have switched to the home formation. Despite us being away from home, the away formation has absolutely let our team fall apart in the last 2 games. So I'm hoping for a bit more defensive rigidity today. The big and pretty bad news is that we've lost Ketchel in goal. He's injured for quite a while, I think. It's definitely a few weeks. I'll just have a double check. He's actually out for 3 weeks, so we're going to have to switch to our backup keeper, Ricardo Quintero, or Quintero. I'll figure out how to say that soon. And we're also trying to get a few other players into the team. So Melagoni's come in to partner Yates-Lloyd in the middle, with Cook behind them. It's Roberto, Simonson and Breen back up top, with Cook playing just ahead of the 4 defenders, who are Linor, Bob, Mamana and Augusto. Yates-Lloyd wins the tackle. Simonson holds the play up brilliantly with 3 Everton players around him. The ball out to Linord, not good enough, and Oxford sends it forward, but Melagoni's there. Now Yates-Lloyd finds Simonson. Ward-Prowse wins it back again. Mamana to Melagoni. Now Gareth Breen back across to Yates-Lloyd in a great area. He charges forward, finds Simonson. Yates-Lloyd again. That was an excellent 1-2 in the box. Back to Yates-Lloyd, who slams it into the bottom corner. Augusto to Melagoni. Augusto again. Yates-Lloyd in the middle, finds Simonson, beats the defenders, and he puts it off the crossbar. Yates-Lloyd dinks the ball forward, couldn't find Breen, but Melagoni has it back. Yates-Lloyd skips the tackle, finds Breen this time. Now Simonson holds it back for Yates-Lloyd, who drills that into the bottom corner, and he is at least the one player carrying this team at the moment. Simonson running with the ball. Does lose out to Reynolds. He didn't have much support there at all. Bruschi finds Bob, who finds Paulo Roberto, his namesake. The ball played in behind, finds Simonson brilliantly, but Garcia makes the save. Sobral skips a tackle beautifully, turns around, finds Breen. Ball back to Cook. Now Yates-Lloyd. Breen again. Takes the ball out to the left, pulls it across, and Sobral is in there to lash the ball home for 3-0. Breen's free kick, quite a distance. It is blocked by the defending wall. Ross now has a 2-on-1 situation on the attack. Romero back into Ross, who tucks it under the goalkeeper, who loses his clean sheet on his debut. There is a full-time whistle. We have managed to win 3-1. A very good win that does settle any nerves about the league form falling apart. It means we remain 6 points clear at the top of the league with 10 games left to go. Manchester City once again have closed the gap on us. They actually beat their city rivals Manchester United to close the gap down to 3 points. It's definitely a two-horse race from this point on with 10 games left for us to play. We are using the home formation that managed to beat Everton away in the last game. Simonson, Paolo Roberto and Breen are all back up front with Yates, Lloyd, Melagoni and Cook in the middle. Lucas is finally back on the left back position with Bob and Mamana in the middle. Augusto on the right and Quintero continues in goal. Gallagher with a long ball over the top which Imber's got onto, and Imber has put West Ham ahead at St James's Park. Lucas on the left flank tries to send the ball in early. It's come for Yates Lloyd. Højbjerg's taken it from Melagoni, and Imber can come at us again. Mamana with a big tackle, but he's out of position. Højbjerg out to Gnabry. Now to Tan. Forward to Bongiovanni. Ball out wide to Slight, who's going to whip it in. And Bongiovanni's on the end of it again to make it 2-0 to West Ham. Yates Lloyd. Forward to Simonson. He sends the ball out wide to Roberto, pulls it back across, and Gareth Breen gets the goal back for us. Melagoni dinks the ball over for Gareth Breen. He's got two players arriving in the box, puts it across. Simonson's there at the near post to level up at half-time. Yates Lloyd over the top looking for Simonson. Francois clears it. Gallagher. Forward to Tutan. Iheanacho. Finds Imber. Still need to be careful. We have been on top since getting back into this game. Tutan. Through to Bongiovanni, who skies it over the bar. A lucky escape. Kovacic with a corner. Just 5 minutes left. Cook. Ball comes to Yates Lloyd, who has a shot and it's gone into the back of the net. He's just about to get substituted off, but he may well have scored the winning goal. There it is. We've managed to overcome the bogey team from 2-0 down at home. We've managed to come back and win 3-2 and keep that unbeaten run in the league. It's now 25 matches unbeaten in the league. We've also now moved 6 points clear with 9 games remaining. And we're in such a good position to retain this title. After that stunning comeback in the league against West Ham, where we came back from 2-0 down to win 3-2, we need to do something even more special against Bayern Munich in the Champions League if we want to stay in this competition right to the end. We're 5-1 down after the first leg. Luckily, Yates Lloyd got that last-minute goal for us, which cut the deficit in a big way. A 4-0 win today will see us make it into the last 8. So I am being a bit controversial. I'm using the away formation that allowed us to lose 5-1 at home. I think at home it might be a bit more solid. Hopefully, when nobody gets sent off on a straight red card, the defence is looking a bit shaky with Linor and Albini in there. But hopefully the attack of Simmons and Breen and Imperiale with Yates, Lloyd, Melagoni and Cook behind them will be able to get us those 4 goals without letting any in at the back. Imperiale finds Gareth Breen, ball out to Simonson. We need an early goal. Simonson puts it in. Yates Lloyd is there. Great save from the keeper. Augusto finds Melagoni. He's given the ball away to Bossman there. Now Vaz on the attack. Does lose out to Melagoni. Linor can build from the back. Finds Yates Lloyd. I don't know what that pass was all about. Augusto charging down the right flank. Finds Imperiale. There's the ball into Breen. Still going. Breen goes for goal. It's saved. Simonson can't get to the follow-up. Cook finds Simonson. There's Imperiale. Finds Augusto, who has an effort. He maybe should have cut it across. The fullback isn't likely to score. Cook's corner towards Milana. Yates Lloyd there on the half volley has given us another goal. We need 3 more to go. Imperiale finds Cook. Now Yates Lloyd. Ball out to Augusto. He's just lost possession. Imperiale gets it back. Just being a bit sloppy at the moment. Here's the Yates-Lloyd. Back to Melagoni. Imperiale into Simonson. This is beautiful football. Yates-Lloyd is inside and he's made it 2-0. We need 2 more goals. We've got a little under an hour to do, but Yates-Lloyd is carrying the team. Albini sends a long ball forward. Sobral chasing after it. He's got Simonson in the middle and he wins a header. It's 3-0 and it's nearly half time. Imperiale to Simonson. Now Imperiale to Cook. Melagoni. We are playing beautiful football at the moment. Melagoni finds Yates-Lloyd. Back to Imperiale. There's Augusto. Across to Yates-Lloyd, who gets the hat-trick. And it's 4-0. 5-5 on aggregate. And this is the most spectacular comeback I've ever seen. Corner from Yates-Lloyd. The hat-trick hero comes out towards Imperiale. We still need to be careful. It is only level on aggregate. Imperiale, edge of the area, finds Yates-Lloyd. Pulls it back. Imperiale to Kirk. Hits the post. Albini, of all people. I said he might be a risk in defence. Instead, he's just made it 5-0 against Bayern Munich. Just 5 minutes left. We're so close to the Champions League quarter-finals and the greatest comeback of all time. Cook's won the ball in a great area. He plays it forward to Imperiale. Simonson's in on goal and it's saved again from the keeper. Simonson's free kick in the last minute. He's put it over the bar, but I don't think it matters. We have pulled off what is easily the greatest comeback in the Champions League I have ever seen. That was absolutely incredible. From 5-1 down in the first leg, we've gone and won 5-0 in the away leg. And that is absolutely incredible. I cannot believe that has happened. And the dream of winning the Champions League in our final and 10th season at the club is still alive. And I'm definitely naming this video the greatest comeback of all time, because people are going to think it was a West Ham game and it will surprise them when the Bayern game comes up. That was phenomenal. I thought I'd seen everything in this series, but absolutely not. I think that's the best comeback we've had since the Atletico Madrid Europa League semi-final. Well, the final match of this episode is away against Bournemouth, our former bogey team. We're in a very good position in the league, 6 points clear. If we win today, we'll still be at least 6 points clear with just 8 games to go. And we've still got the Champions League to look forward to, thanks to Yates-Lloyd, who picked up the team from the scruff of the neck in a Steven Gerrard-esque fashion. And carried us through in the Champions League. He got 4 goals in those 2 games, which is absolutely phenomenal. A hat-trick against Bayern Munich when we needed it most. And he's becoming the new hero of this team. So against Bournemouth away from home, we're going to use the same tactic we did in the game against Bayern Munich. The only changes are in defence, where Lucas and Bob have come in for Linor and Albini. Everybody else is the same. Ketchell's back on the bench and should be ready for next episode. But it's all about getting the 3 points today and finishing off this episode in style. Augusto into Paolo Roberto. There's Cook. Imperiale on the edge of the area has found the bottom corner. We've got the lead inside 2 minutes, but Gareth Breen's offside. I don't know how that's disallowed the goal, because the keeper could clearly see the effort, but apparently he was interfering with play. Augusto gets the ball back. Cook to Melagoni. Augusto again whips it in. Cook was arriving, but Melagoni finds Yates-Lloyd and his effort is deflected into the back of the net. It's been given as his goal, and this is definitely his episode. There's Meredith. On to Rafa, who skips past the tackle way too easily. He's on a good run, sends the ball in, and it's an own goal. That's the 3rd time that situation has happened. One of them went in, and one of them hit the post, and now we've conceded a second own goal in that fashion. Simonson's free kick comes out towards Cook. Still chasing this winner at the moment. Sobral loses out to Laird. Now Bamba has given the ball back to Sobral, who finds Melagoni. Now Cook switches flank brilliantly to Lucas, who gives the ball away to Rafa, and now Morgan will play it over the top, and Venero will probably score and make it 2-1. Our excellent unbeaten run in the league has come to a really disappointing end. That was just not good enough, and I think it's because the team are maybe just getting a bit complacent given that 6 point lead at the top of the table and the fact we're defending the title, not chasing it. 25 matches unbeaten in the league. It's really disappointing that we've lost that game. And it means that Manchester City have the chance to close the gap to 3 points. We've still got 8 league games to go. And next episode is going to be a tough one because we're going to have the Champions League quarterfinals. And it's worth just reminding you that at the end of this season, we still need to take on Arsenal, Spurs, City, Chelsea and Liverpool. That's going to be a really tough run-in, and a 3 point lead won't do us any favours. We have to beat Villa, we have to beat Leicester, we have to beat Southampton in the next episode. Hopefully we can take out Arsenal away, but I think it's all going to come down to that match against Man City away from home, as it has done the last 2 seasons. The game away at the City of Manchester Stadium has decided where the title has ended up. It went to City first time, it went to us the second time, and it looks like it's going to decide it for the 3rd time this season, despite our absolute domination of the league. But that's been quite an entertaining episode. We've won 3, lost 3, which is not ideal, but we're still in the Champions League and Premier League trophy hunt. Unfortunately, we went out of the FA Cup. That was a little bit upsetting, but we're still on to win the Champions League, the only trophy that we haven't won that we really have to. So drop a like on the video if you enjoyed that incredible comeback against Bayern Munich. Make sure you subscribe to see how this series finally does end, if we can win the Champions League or not. But until next time, see ya!